Okay, welcome to my race of the day. Although I've been doing a lot of instructional videos lately of me racing about and talking about how I approach tracks and how I approach learning cars and whatnot. And yet here I am in a car that I don't really know that well. I just fancied it, to be honest with you. I just fancied getting out in the 1600, the Formula Ford 1600, and racing here. And the reason is really that Lime Rock Park was effectively, I think, can't really recall, was the first track I ever raced on in iRacing. Obviously in the MX-5 back in the day. Probably wasn't even the modern one now that we have now. But yeah, here I am at Lime Rock Park in the Formula Ford 1600, and I'm just about to try my first timed lap for qualification. I did this earlier and I failed to qualify at all. I put it off the track in both laps, which is really disappointing, and I ended up qualifying position 12 out of 13 cars, which was desperately sad. And then on top of that, car number 13 on the first corner crashed into me and took me to the pits, and shortly after that I got another hit from another car once I'd come out of my quick repair from the pits. And of course I went back to the pits and it was like a 30-minute repair or something like that. So not the best race I've ever had. So we're going across the line here. It's given me 1:00.698, so a minute and some loose change. I've noticed that most people who are doing well at this race tend to be putting in a 58 or even a 57. Most leaders going round will be doing a 57. So I've got 3 seconds to find, which I'm not too sure I can, to be honest with you. But nevertheless, just as my race of the day, I'm out here now trying my best to, in the first part, qualify without crashing. Okay, here we go. We're coming back down here. I think it's going to be super fast, but we'll give it a go anyway. And we're crossing the line in. Ooh, 1:01, so yeah. I got a qualification there of a minute. Depending on the field of the split that I'm in, I will be probably somewhere like 6th or 7th on the grid. That's the middle of the pack. That can be a good place to be, it can be a bad place to be, you know, it depends on your luck, really. So I'm not live streaming this. I did want to live stream it, I really did. Unfortunately, my computer crashes when I try to live stream using the Oculus. Now, I tried both with Oculus Air Link, and I tried also with the Oculus cable link onto the USB-C in my computer. And both times, about half an hour into the streaming, the computer crashed. I suspect it's my 3070, which I did get second-hand from eBay, so it may have some heat issues. I may need to take off the fans and replace the thermal padding there. Or it may just be that 8 gigabytes, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, 8 gigabytes is not enough video RAM. I mean, it could be, you know, if I'm streaming a live multiplayer game and at the same time trying to play that game over VR, especially over VR, then it will cause problems. I tried the streaming again using a non-VR game, Homeworld 2 in fact. I know that's not the most demanding, but that did work. So here I am. I'm going to race this race, then I'm going to use the replay to record that. I'm going to record the replay, and I'm going to then splice in this audio, which I'm recording live. I am recording this audio as I race. So we've got the grid. Let's see where we are. Ooh, we're place 8, so that's lower than I thought we would be. And the leader's doing a 57. This is going to be a tough race to come anywhere with. But I mean, let's see if we actually survive the race before we decide how tough it is. Well, they've put in plenty of fuel to finish the race. My spotter was just telling me there, which is, I think, very optimistic of them. Let's see where we go. I've got Sven in front of me and Ben beside me. Okay, we've got the lights coming up, red lights up. Somebody's jumped. Somebody just shot straight down the middle there. He'll be getting the black flag, I feel. Maybe he thought he could do that. I don't know. That was a bit of an odd one, wasn't it? Okay. Alrighty. It's all a bit touch and go here. These cars are weaving around all over the place. And I've got the guys at the back coming up hard behind me because we're not going terribly fast at the front here. Here we go. Oh! Another one cutting across there. Oh. That was worrying there as the cars all came in. Oh no! I misjudged the corner there, and I went completely off and skidded in a complete circle. Loss of track. Oh no, that was terrible. I was doing relatively well there, and then I wasn't. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I think I was just congratulating myself on missing those two cars that had skidded off, and I was so busy patting myself on the back that I forgot to regard my driving line and my brakes and my accelerator, and the combination of ignoring all of those meant that I span out. But at least I didn't get any damage. That's the important thing. And we're still in the race, although with 10 minutes to go of the race, it feels a bit lonely. I guess I'm in the middle of nowhere. We've got the back marker behind me, he's 8 seconds behind me, and the front marker next place up is 10 seconds ahead of me. He's position 8. There's a couple of cars that are a lap down as well that are in front of me. I'm not sure what we'll do with those. I guess see if we actually ever catch anybody before we worry about what we're going to do with them. Anyway, let's try and race a bit more aggressively. I've noticed that this track, you do need to be reasonably aggressive and less thinking about, oh dear, what happens if I crash? Don't worry about it, just get on it. It's just sim racing. You're not going to crash an expensive car in this. You're just going to crash a pretend car that exists only in Cyberland. So just get in there and push the throttle down and go for it. That's what I think you need to do. That's probably what I did at that last corner. Okay, so the spotter's telling me that the P1 is doing a 58-second lap, and my last lap was 1 minute 1, so that's terrible. I'm 3 seconds slower. Oh, blimey, I just completely missed the corner there while I was looking at my lap timer to see how fast I'd gone. I just... really, you've got to focus, Paul. I have to focus more on the road and less on what's going on. It's kind of like, oh yeah. What's my lap? What's my lap? Oh my God, there's a corner. Okay, so these chicanes are here. I mean, I've played this Lime Rock without these chicanes, and I have to say, in this type of car, I do tend to prefer this track without the chicane. I know their skill and all that sort of stuff, and I just need to get good at it and all that sort of thing. I just prefer the custom track that we have or that we can race here that doesn't have that chicane, especially with these open wheeled cars. I don't think they're particularly well suited for open wheel car chicanes. I mean, that's just my opinion. You know, you might have a different opinion, and of course you're welcome to have that opinion. Everybody's opinion counts. But my opinion is I don't like chicanes for open wheeled cars. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just because I find them difficult and that annoys me. And I would prefer to have a simpler life. Who knows? But anyway, it is what it is, and we race it as it is. A message just came through there that P2 is now the fastest car on the lap, even though he's only P2, and he's putting in 57-second lap. And I'm still on 1 minute 1. That's not great, is it? Okay. I've gone down now to 1 minute 0, and I'm so pleased with that. I nearly span off there. I am running 7th at the moment, and to be honest with you, the 6th place is so far ahead of me, I don't honestly see that changing. That's a back marker, so that doesn't count. That car's a lap down. Yeah, P2 is continuing to, the car in P2 is continuing to set the fastest laps each way round. It must be frustrating for him that he's setting these fast laps and yet he's not in the lead. It can be a tricky course to overtake on, especially with these cars with the fixed layout. You can't really find an advantage anywhere. I think really if you can overtake in the corners, that's probably one of the better places. Or nip through just after the chicanes. The straights, you would think, you know, you can come past and do a bit of drafting and stuff like that, and sometimes that does work. But it's not a very long straight, and so, you know, getting past the car and round the corner before you get to it is challenging at the very best. We've got 5 minutes left of the race. We're 7 laps in. Let's see what we can do with these lap times. We're not going to come anywhere in the race, but you know, at least we can try and improve the lap times. Apparently I'm gaining on the car in front. I'm now 9 seconds closer. Honestly, I don't really see that changing very much because there's only 5 minutes of the race left, and I'm not sure I can gain 9 seconds in 5 minutes. I don't know, I mean, he may make a mistake, this driver in front of me, in which case I can then catch them. But I'm at least starting to get a little bit more for a feel for this car. I know the track, as I said, I raced it first in the MX-5, so I know it really well. Like the back of my hand, really. It's not the most demanding track out there, but it is a fun one. But this car is still mysterious to me. I'm getting the hang of it. I'm getting the hang of the way that the brakes can be used to pull it round, but I am still encountering, as I just did then, you may have seen, a four-wheel slide as I go around the corner coming downhill, and I'm really not sure that is great. Okay, so my lap there was 59 seconds, so I finally cracked the 1 minute, and that's good. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to find the 57. I don't really see that, but at least I feel like I'm getting the hang of where the car should be on the track, where the driving lines should be, and how to negotiate these chicanes that I don't really like. So those red pillars that we see as we come through there, if you hit those too hard, you can end up breaking your suspension and then you're out the race. Unless you've got a quick repair. I've actually still got a quick repair because I didn't get any damage during that spin that I did. Yeah, let's see what we can get on the lap time this time. Back to a minute again. I've lost me 59 seconds. Need to be more consistent. It'd be really good if there was some more cars to race, like some near me. I always feel encouraged to go a bit faster when there's another car in front of me. When I'm here on my own, it tends to not really be very motivating, shall we say. That was my own fault for spinning out, so I have only myself to blame. Oh no, I caught the grass. I hit the grass. The leader's pitting. What's happened there then? He must have spun off or something. Oh, I can't believe I hit the grass there. That was such a mistake. Just clipped it with my wheel, my front wheel, and it was enough to spin me off. And now I've got the car that was quite way behind me sniffing my exhaust in a way that looks very racy, like he's definitely keen on overtaking me. And he's going to possibly pick up a bit of streaming from me. I don't know. Okay, because of pitting and cars ahead destroying themselves presumably, I'm now in 4th, would you believe? And that car that I wished for to race is coming up fast behind me. You always have to be careful what you wish for, don't you? You know, here I was on an empty track and thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have some cars? And then I span out and suddenly I've got a car behind me threatening to steal this 4th place that I didn't earn at all. I've just got from other cars crashing. But this 4th place is now something I really want to hang on to. And I'm not quite sure if I can, but we'll give it a go. The car is less than half a second behind me and we are on the last lap. And oh, he's on the left. Oh, that was close. I thought he'd got past me then, but he didn't. He obviously decided to back off and give me some room, just in case I wanted to crash or something. I could do with really cleaning my visor. It looks quite dirty, but I'm not sure I can spare enough concentration to push the hotkey that I've assigned to doing it. Oh, this is going to be close. Can I hang on to my 4th place here? I've got one more corner to get around. There we go. Checkered flag coming in. Oh, well, that was dramatic. That was dramatic. That was very dramatic. I can do the visor now. There it is. Woof. Yeah, okay, so that was a bit of a turn up for the books there. We went from 9th place after spinning out through my own ineptitude, and eventually ended up scoring a 4th place due to some luck of the other cars on the course spinning out. I'm quite happy with that 4th place. I think I can do better. I think I definitely can improve on that, but I need some more practice to get this lap time down to the 57 seconds that obviously seems to be what you need to be driving if you want to be a contender in this race. Okay, find my little pit guy, a couple of people there doing repairs maybe. There we go. And that's the end of the race. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly I certainly had some fun, even though my position wasn't brilliant. You know, it is what it is. We have a look at the results here. And here they are on the iRacing page, and as you can see I managed a 4th there despite starting on the grid in 8th because I didn't qualify. And my best lap time was 59.658. I mean, I was pleased with that, but my average lap time was 1:03, so that's pretty poor. And as you can see, the best lap time, the winner, was 57. He was doing phenomenally. I mean, he is a B-class driver, but still, that's you know, credit where credit is due. Poor old Michael Fernandez there, though. He led for 10 laps in car number 8, and yet he finished 6th. I'm not quite sure what happened to him. We'll have a look at the accident replays now and see if we can find out where he went wrong. And this was the start that was a little bit bizarre. We got this car just suddenly decided, yeah, I'm off. I can see nobody else is, but, you know, I'm going to go for it. And he just left. I don't know whether he just thought, well, I've started, so I might as well just carry on. You know, I guess it worked for him. I did see him later serving his time penalty in the pits. So, I mean, he did that as well, but I'm not quite sure how long he had to serve for that start and why he did it. So we got off to a reasonably clean start. I mean, we got through turning 1 and turning 2, and we didn't really have too many disasters as such. And even though everybody was bunched up when we entered the chicane, apart from quite a lot of smoke coming off people's tyres and that one guy taking a little shortcut there, so he got a time penalty as well, everything seemed to go reasonably well. And it was just when we got to this corner that it all went a bit pear-shaped. That car came off, and there was another car that was taking his time penalty there, and it threw me slightly. And as I was patting myself on the back for not getting involved with the accident, I span completely out. And that really was effectively, my race was over at that point. Or so I thought. I mean, it got dramatic towards the end. In the pits there, I'm pretty sure that's the early starter serving his penalty. But anyway, there were a few other accidents. These two guys took themselves out quite nicely, and he lost his rear wheel there. That's always a bit of sad with the damage like that, isn't it? And this guy was taking a bit too much time coming through the chicanes, and somebody knocked him off. I mean, he was very slow. I'm not sure what the problem there was. And this guy did what I did. He came around that corner just a little bit too fast and did a nice set of pirouettes, but managed to avoid any damage, so back on the track. And this one here is interesting. This is car number 8. This was the guy who led for 10 laps. Look, and he comes around that same corner I lost it on and crashes. So that's what happened to him. At the end of the race, he just crashed. Anyway, that's the end of this race of the day. My first race of the day that I've recorded live for you, and added a little bit of commentary at the end here. But the commentary at the beginning is actually me driving. That's why I'm afraid the microphone's not as good quality. I will have to try and do something with that and make sure that works a little bit better in the future. A new mic is required. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this, and I hope you join me again for the next one, which will be hopefully in the near future. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click the like button, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe. Click the little bell icon if you want to be notified of any future videos.